Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm back for another Slim Sports interview. And as always, I'm your host, Jay Slim. And joining me today is a 6'3" guard out of Incarnate Ward that has had an incredible career over the past 5 years and once again dominated as one of the best point guards, and in my opinion, the best point guard in the Southland Conference this past season. I'm talking about JalenAnderson. How's it going, man?
I'm going good, doing good, doing good, doing good. Blessed.
Hey, excited to have you on, man. You've had an incredible career, three different stops, but always managed to find ways to produce no matter where you've been, adapt to the system that was put in place. And that takes a high level of IQ, high level of intangibles, which clearly you have. And I want fans, viewers that are just now getting to know your name, that are watching this interview, to get to know your career, the history that you have in a quick segment that I like to call Rewind and Recap. Just going to rewind the clock all the way back to the beginning of your career. Started off at Loyola Marymount, where you as a freshman, actually, you were all freshman team in 2021 in the West Coast Conference. Very tough conference there. Ended up moving on to Ball State after your tenure with Marymount and averaged nearly 16 points per game for the Cardinals there. Moved on to Incarnate Ward, where you set the single game assist record early on in your career with UIW with 13 assists in a single game. And overall on the season, you actually led the Southland Conference as a whole in assists per game in 2025 with 5 assists per game. That's why I said that, in my opinion, you are the best point guard in that conference this past season because not only could you score, but you could dish it out to your teammates as well. So, absolutely incredible way to end your collegiate career with UIW to be able to put up the numbers that you did, lead the conference in assists, like I said. Talk to me real quick about this past season specifically with Incarnate Ward and how that compared to the rest of your collegiate career and the impact you were able to make on the Cardinals this year.
It was amazing actually. We made history. That was the first time in program history that we was able to make it to the postseason. And then we end up going to do a little CBI tournament. That was the first time being able to be qualified for that as well. And we made a lot of history. Got a chance to play against Duke. Just really just made it easier for our coach to recruit to UIW now. So it was amazing. How it compares to previous years, I don't think I can really compare any team to another one. Everything had its own challenges, its own blessings, and it was all around a blast.
Yeah, absolutely. And you were one of four double-figure scorers for this UIW team this past year. Obviously, like I mentioned, leading the conference in assists. Obviously, that meant you led your team in assists with 5 per game. Also averaged 15 points, 3.3 rebounds, shooting 37% from beyond the arc, and had some outstanding performances on the season. 25 points, 7 assists, and 5 made threes going against South Alabama. 29 points and 5 assists going against Houston Christian, and then 29 points with 4 boards going against Southeastern Louisiana. So you were able to do a multitude of things for this team to where not only were you able to get your numbers, but your teammates could get their numbers and help lead to those wins and lead you guys to that CBI postseason tournament as well. How did your role for this team, the playmaking, the scoring, everything that you brought to the table, really impact the team overall and allow you to thrive just like your teammates?
Um, well, at heart, I've always been a pass first point guard. So like getting my teammates involved is super natural for me. I have a really good feel for the game, so I understand moments. That's what my coach used to preach all the time. Moments when to take over, get your buckets. Moment when to set the table for your teammates and stuff. Because without them, I mean, there's no winning. So I can't just do it all on my own. And never been a selfish guy. So I love it. I'd rather see my teammates eat than me go out there and score 30. Like scoring 30 is great, but that 13 assist game is really what does it for me.
Oh yeah, that 13 assist game was big for UIW for the history of that program. Obviously, having a player like yourself, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I believe you brought another Ball State guy over with you in Davion Bailey, teammate of yours with the Cardinals over there. Came over, kept Cardinals on your jersey, just suiting up for another institution, and he ended up leading you guys in scoring. You obviously were one of the top players on this team as well. You two were really a dynamic duo on the court from what I saw from the highlights that I watched. How would you say the familiarity with one another, obviously having that previous experience at Ball State, knowing each other's game, how would you say that allowed you two to really thrive in the system at UIW? And how would you say that translated and rubbed off on some of your teammates?
Yeah, me and DB, that's my guys, my brother, man. We spent all summer together, going into Ball State. So, man, we spent all year at Ball, then we spent all summer again together, going to UIW, and we spent that year, and we've been pretty much living with each other since Ball. So I mean, like, that's my brother, and we're very close. I know him off the court, so everything on the court just comes super easy and natural for us. And then just our chemistry with each other, since we were two or three of the leaders that was on the team, it made everybody just really gel together really well. And we had to set the tone, and they see us doing it, then everybody else is willing to follow.
And your teammates obviously saw you put up some highlight plays this past season. And I want to talk about some of those big time moments that you had in a segment that I like to call Make That Play, where I went through synergy. Like I said before, I went through the highlights. I saw the chemistry that you and DB had. And I also saw the big time shots that you were able to make throughout the season. And I put together my list of what I feel like were your top three plays from this past season. But obviously, I'm just the stats guy. I'm the fan in the stands. You're the one actually on the court doing what you do best. So, what would you say was your best play from this past season?
The one that comes to mind is when we was playing against McNeese at McNeese, and it was like the end of the first half. I got the ball like full court. That was like in this full court like press type thing. I pretty much broke it, came down the middle, split it, and like threw the ball over my head to my big. He just caught it perfectly, dunked it at the buzzer, and that was probably like that was my favorite play for sure.
There you go. Obviously, you have that playmaking ability to create highlight plays for others, but I'm going to talk about a few made shots that you had for yourself here. And number one, I have an incredible ISO situation against SFA, Stephen F. Austin, where you ended up taking the defender into the middle of the paint, came back out, dribbled back out, hit him with a couple of dribble moves to kind
Mm,
of keep him on his guard. And the shot clock was winding down this whole time. Shot clock hits one, you get the shot off from three, and you sink it, nothing but net. So that one I thought was absolutely incredible. Just the patience and the ability to keep the defender on his toes.
yeah.
Number two, also going against McNeese, you ended up coming off a ball screen, beat two defenders, one of them being Garcia, the Southland Conference Player of the Year. The other one, Christian Shoemate, one of the best defensive players in that conference. You put him on skates because he ended up tripping and falling, and you went right into the contact for a nice up and under layup, got another score for your team in what was a very close game against the
Mhm.
Southland Conference champions. And number three, going against Houston Christian, you had a Steph Curry, Reggie Miller, Ray Allen range type of three where it was just so far beyond the arc. It was nearly at the logo. And you beat the shot clock once again off of a teammate that saved the ball to keep it in bounds. He got it right to you, trusted you to make that shot, and you sunk it in nothing but net once again. So absolutely incredible for a team that started off strong, 9-5 start, and then you guys had a little bit of a hiccup, 6 game losing streak, but then bounced back once again towards the end of the regular season to gain momentum going into the Southland tournament where you guys got a first round win, and then obviously going into the CBI. How would you say you guys bounced back to play like you were at the start of this season, despite having that rough stretch there in the middle?
Yeah. I would give a lot of credit to our coach, Coach Shane Hireman. He really kept us like enjoying like basketball still. Like I've been places where like after a loss, man, and it's depressing coming back to work that the next day. And he makes like basketball still a kid's game for us and allows us to continue to have joy even in our losses. Like nothing really changes. So I would give a lot of credit to him, and then he just really put a lot on me, DB, and our other leader Dylan, and to just really just rally the troops. He understood. He helped us understand that it was well at the time DB didn't know about the JUCO thing. So, but he really helped us understand that it was our last year, and it could be whatever we wanted it to be. So he really, put the keys in our hands, and we decided to go out there and make a change and really try to really make history out there.
Oh yeah, and you guys definitely did a 19 and 17 overall record, 9 and 11 Southland Conference record, but that's very deceiving because I mean, you guys had those big time wins there towards the end, obviously, that really picked up steam, climbed up in that Southland Conference standings, and obviously made it all the way to the CBI semifinals, which we'll touch on that here in a sec. But I mean, overall in the season, some great wins, including beating Southeastern Louisiana in overtime in the first round of that Southland Conference tournament, 71 to 67. And you yourself, you really seem to pick up your scoring ability in that Southland Conference action, especially towards the end of the season. I mentioned those two 29-point performances. They were both against Southland Conference teams, and you were being utilized a lot in that conference action. You actually had three straight games where you logged 40 minutes of action. There's only
Mhm.
40 minutes in a game in regular, unless there's overtime. So you were playing every single minute, three straight games. How
Yeah.
were you able to stay fresh to still be able to put up the numbers that you did? And how would you say that really led to the uptick in production that you had?
Um, I would just give it all to God, honestly. He always just helped me prepare myself. Things like that just keep me focused on the main thing. And on top of that, again, like my coach did a really good job in helping us to prepare. I knew that I was going to play 40. Everybody knew I was going to play 40. So he helped me prepare the right way, make sure I get my treatment. And I want to give a lot of credit to our AT. She was amazing. Her name is Sarah. She was amazing. She worked with me daily, like after hours, before hours. So give a lot of credit to her as well. And again, it's our coach really preached will match desire. So my desires is to, go to the CB. Well, at the times go to the NCAA tournament. But my desires were to continue to keep winning. So my will need to match that. So I just tried to put will to desire, and I just kept going.
And obviously, that led you guys to the first ever postseason in UIW history, like you mentioned before. Obviously, you guys didn't end up going to the NCAA tournament, but that CBI tournament, you guys found another level of success there, especially in those first two rounds. Ended up beating Southeastern, or no, ended up beating Manhattan in the
Hmm.
first round, 92 to 85, and then took down a very tough Jacksonville team in the quarterfinals, 87 to 71 before taking on, I believe it was Illinois State that you guys took on in the semifinals. Talk to me real quick about that postseason run. Obviously, you guys know you're making history. You know you get a chance to continue to play the game that you love. What was that other level that you guys managed to reach in that CBI tournament?
Yeah, I mean, postseason is, I think that's the best part of basketball, really, because you're really just completely focused on hoop. You ain't got to worry about school. You ain't got to worry about nothing else but just winning games. And we were just so blessed to be able to make it to a postseason tournament. So we was just out there really just having fun. We were just enjoying our last time with this team together. Obviously, we wanted to go out there and win it, and I think that we should have. But it was really just having fun. So that was that extra gear of like continue to keep going and staying motivated. Coach did a really good job in just keeping us joyous. Like basketball was super fun. So it was nothing to go out there and just compete and do whatever you have to do to win.
There you go, man. And obviously, this was your last year playing college ball. Now you're looking to take your talents to the professional ranks, make a little bit of money for yourself and for your family while continuing to do what you love to do, and that's play the game of basketball. What stage are you currently at right now as far as, I'm or do you have an agent already? Are you guys looking to go overseas,
Yeah.
maybe the G League, get a spot in the summer league? What stage are you at right now to continue your basketball career?
Yeah. I have an agent. His name is Pete Michael. He is a great agent, great agent. Got a number of guys that are in the G League and making $1 million overseas as well. So right now I'm looking to go overseas and just really submit my name in there. It's really personal for me because I feel like throughout my college career, people kind of I guess like overlooked what I was doing out there on the court. So starting this new professional career, I'm gonna make sure they see me.
Absolutely. And right there, what you just said leads me perfectly into my next segment here, where, like you said, people kind of overlooked you. People who kind of looked past the name Jalen Anderson, didn't realize the contributions that you were putting up. I obviously did when I looked at the numbers, saw what you were doing. That's why I had to get you on this podcast because you're one of these hidden gems in these mid-major conferences that doesn't get talked about enough. And obviously, you got snubbed from being on the all-conference team. Like I told you before, I think that's insane. The Southland Conference clearly overlooked you, but I want to get more guys like yourself on these hidden gems that have a story to tell where they want to get their names out there. And I want to do whatever I can to find more people like that. And that's exactly why I had this segment that I like to call Who's Up Next, where you can actually give me some recommendations. You can give me some names that I can reach out to, have on the podcast, get them to tell their story as well. There are two rules to this. First of which, whoever you recommend, got to help me get them on, got to help me reach out. And number two, I do need at least one name that was not a teammate of yours at UIW this past
Uh,
season.
okay, well I'll give you the first one. It got to be my boy Davion Bailey. I have to, because he has a really unique story. And ever since I met him, he's been super, super nice. And I was honestly confused. Like when I met him back at ball, I was like, bro, like, how did you go JUCO, gang? Like, you're nice. Not saying that, JUCO people aren't nice, but it's just like, how did a D1 school miss out on you? So I would say Davion Bailey and another one. Hmm. I'm gonna think of a low key guy. Do they have to be in college now, or can they be
They
out
could be
of it?
pro right now if that works.
Let's do Xavier Dussel.
All
Xavier
right.
Dussel, he's my guy. We play AAU together. He been at a few different spots too. He got a unique story as well. Really, really good player. Really, really good shooter. Kind of underrated in my opinion. So yeah, let's go Xavier Dussel.
There you go. Those are some great names for who's up next. And now we got to talk about what's next for yourself. Obviously, you said you and your agent are trying to get you a contract overseas to continue to grow your name and grow your career. How are you really attacking this offseason to go into your rookie season at the professional ranks, the best version of yourself to where you can continue your career at the highest level possible?
Yeah, college was a long, long, long season. So especially this past year, playing those 40 minutes of games. So I really just been, getting healthy, getting my rehab, my treatment with my PT, and staying in shape, staying in the gym, getting up a ton of shots, trying to be the best shooter that I can be. Because if you can shoot and defend, then you can play on any level. So just really staying in the gym, working on my body, getting stronger, athletic, faster, things of that nature. Just trying to really sharpen all of my tools. But I really went into this summer not trying to get better at a lot of different things, but just trying to master three different things. And that is my mid-range game, my post up, and just being a great shooter. Because I'm a bigger guard, so I'm gonna have to post up over there when I'm playing against those Europeans. And yeah, and then I just want to be able to shoot that way. My game can translate to the NBA as well.
There you go, man. Definitely can't wait to see what the next couple of months have in store for you to where you can continue your career and make some money for yourself and for your family. And no doubt in my mind, people are going to learn the name Jalen Anderson very soon overseas, and they are going to love you and the game that you have, man. So beyond excited to have been able to get you on this podcast, tell your story, get your name out there a little bit more, and show off some great highlights that you have from throughout this season. And thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to hop on this podcast and do this interview, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, big dog.